Hey, Mama C here. We don't even know what we're going to talk about tonight. I've got a little helper with me. My little Haribo, who saved me today and got stuck on a fence. Being clever, trying to climb it instead of walking around. I had to end up getting off and squeezing through the bars of the fence. I don't think Harry thought I'd fit, to be honest. He's vlogging. He's vlogging as well. Soon he'll be outdoing me out of my own channel. So maybe we should talk about Haribo. Seeing as he's here, we won't talk behind his back. Haribo isn't going to school. Haribo is home educated at the moment because his anxiety, the poor little gem, he got quite poorly with it, and we didn't really feel like the support from the school was what we needed. It was just kind of fix it quick, and they didn't really understand the actual complexities of how he was feeling. So things came to a head about, what we're saying, Harry, 2 months ago now?
Yeah.
Roughly. And Harry had come out in hives, he was having panic attacks. He was feeling really, really rough with himself. He was threatening to hurt himself. And as any parent, I think you just want to solve that. You want to take it away. And for me, the only answer at that time seemed to be to pull him out of school and deregister him and take on his education myself. So I thought, like, I might talk a little bit about home education because there's so many things that people don't understand about it. First off, one thing that loads of people say is, it's illegal. Your children have to go to school. Well, I'm sorry. No, it's not illegal at all. The law states that as parents you are responsible for educating your child in any way. That could be going to school and that could be educated at home. It could be private tutors. It could be whatever you see fit in a way to educate your child. The other thing is that there is no curriculum that they have to stick to. So you can guide your child on a journey of education of wherever they want to be. You know, if your child doesn't particularly like a certain subject, Harry absolutely hates languages. He has no interest in learning French, and yet he was sitting in a lesson and getting very, very stressed out and upset about having to learn something that he didn't enjoy and really stressed him out, and so why would I put him through that? So he doesn't learn anything like that. Another misconception is that the school are involved. School have absolutely nothing to do with home education. The minute you hand that letter in, usually it's kind of where they wash their hands of you, and that's how we were treated when kind of Harry was taken out of school, and also when Charlie decided to come out of school, and that was almost a year ago now. Look at those long legs in the background. So we now have 2 children at home who are educated otherwise, shall we say, than school. So like I said, the school has nothing to do with it. They do not send us any work. It is all what I have to provide. And believe you me, this is not an easy task. And for anybody who says, people who who home educate their children are doing so to abuse them, is a load of bollocks. Yeah, I'm sure there will be a very, very small minority of people who might be abusing their children and use this as a way of kind of hiding that or covering that. But certainly of the community that I know, that is not the case. People do not take their children out of school as a form of abuse or as a way of hiding the abuse and keeping them out of kind of the eye of the educators and things like teachers and stuff, because to be quite honest, we do have somebody to answer to as well. We have to provide a report on the education that we've provided every year, and also when you kind of start off on your journey, you have to write an educational philosophy or a plan of education for your child for that year. And every year they will get in touch with you and expect to see or hear kind of thing what you've been doing with your child. Like I said, there's no curriculum to follow. It's whatever you want to do. And education comes in so many various forms as well. Not all children enjoy sitting down and writing things over and over again and, you know, working from workbooks. A lot of them are more active with their education. So it might be that they want to be doing something. They could be, you know, wanting to play a musical instrument. They could be wanting to do art. They could be doing science experiments. They might want to play games even. You know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with computer games because they actually teach them a lot about kind of managing a scenario as well, so, and being creative. Things like Minecraft's really, really good for kids because Harry's built some amazing buildings on Minecraft, stuff that I wouldn't even think of doing, and I wouldn't have a clue how to do it, and he is really, really good at that sort of thing. You know, it's important to keep up the general subjects, maths, English, science and things like that are really good to kind of have under their belts. Harry's not at a point where we need to kind of worry about GCSEs or anything like that, where Charlie is. And Charlie recently kind of went through a period of being quite nervous about the fact that he wouldn't be getting GCSEs like any other friends that he has. He also has another friend who came out of school at the same time as him, who's home educated, who he does pop and see now and again, but doesn't have like a massive kind of social link there. But he's got a lot of friends online all around the world as well that he talks to regularly. And you know, he's picking up other languages as well. You know, I've heard him sort of like learning bits in Norwegian and things like that. Is Norwegian a language?
It's Swedish, isn't it?
It's Swedish.
I think it's either Norwegian or
I suppose
Swedish.
I'll have to learn that, won't I?
I'll have a look.
Okay, there we go. See, he's learning something there. He's going to find out. So yeah, education comes in various shapes and forms, but it's not easy, and it's you know, people who say we're taking the easy option who may think that I'm absolutely crazy for doing this. You know, I'm aware of myself and my own abilities and where I have to get the support from. There's a lot of online support available, and there's local support. We actually have a group that we haven't been going to, but I think we will be going to shortly. It's just down the road from us, a home education group. But I'm trying to perhaps set up or co-facilitate or something a group for older kids who are in this area, Middlesbrough, Redcar and Cleveland area. Yeah, like I said, you know, actually we save kind of the taxpayer because we don't get anything for our child. You don't get any grants, you don't get any money towards their books, towards educational trips, towards the stuff that they need, computer programmes. I went to WH Smith's the other day and spent £30 on workbooks for the two of them. You know, that's something that I just have to do. I will be spending a lot more money over the period of time because I think Charlie potentially might have to do some course. He can do an IGCSE and there's like online courses to follow that, and then we register him for an exam just like any other GCSE exam. He'll go to a school and do that. Yeah, I think that's...
Got the answer.
Oh, he's got the answer. Go on then.
To speak Norwegian.
Yay, I'm not stupid as I was.
A lot more of them do speak either Swedish or Danish.
Well done for finding that out, Harry. So yeah, that's kind of it. I think we wanted to kind of talk a little bit about it and get it out there and known what we're doing. We've had really good support from family and friends. Nobody's been, you know, horrible. Nobody's sort of said I was crazy for doing it. We did it for the right reasons with both both of them. For Charlie, it was that he struggled a lot, and he's very, very individual. And somebody who has like quite long hair, a boy with quite long hair, doesn't necessarily fit into a chavvy Middlesbrough school, may I say it, but that's how it is. So yeah, I think we made the right decision at that time. I know for Harry, we do want him to go back to school, because I think ideally it's the best place for him because he's quite social, but he just did not transition from primary school to secondary school. He really, really struggled with that, and he still asked me today, please can I just go back to primary school, but of course that isn't an option. So yeah, let's just kind of see where the next couple of months take us. We're quite laid back about it. We don't have particularly a massive structure. We don't have to. All we have to do is provide an education of equivalent of full time, but that's actually only works out at about 25 hours a week. And to be honest, a lot of the learning that they do isn't just based at doing workbooks and things like that. They're learning all the time about things. And Harry certainly, what did you do the other day, Harry? What did you want to know? Oh, why Vincent van Gogh cut his ear off?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them why Vincent van Gogh cut his ear off? Can you remember?
It's because of...
Come on the camera, come on the camera.
I'm not coming on the camera.
No, he's not coming on the camera.
But
You have to talk loud.
it's because his brother was getting married, and he thought he was going to lose the attention.
Yeah, because he needed a lot of support from his brother, apparently. I think that was maybe due to his mental health. His brother always kind of dealt with everything for him. And the story goes that his brother was getting married, and he felt that he would be a burden either on his brother's kind of new relationship, marriage, or that he would lose that attention because he would then have to be dealing with his wife and family. So that is the reason why Vincent van Gogh cut his ear off. So they're like little things that, but we didn't plan to learn that. It just came up, didn't it, Harry? It was just, we were watching TV. I think it was part of it, Artist of the Year.
Yeah.
We were watching, and these things happen. Lots of good documentaries as well. They're always a good learning thing. And we talk about a lot of stuff. Activities wise, Harry's been out today for a walk with me, which is really nice. And we hope to do more. We're wanting to go up Rosebery Topping when it gets a little bit warmer. And hopefully we'll get out and do a lot more as it gets lighter evenings and warmer days. What else, Harry? What else do we want to do?
Don't know.
Oh, we never know. We just take it as each day as it comes, because that's the joy of learning, isn't it? I didn't want the boys to essentially waste their time learning stuff that they would never need in adult life. What we're kind of creating with them is independence and self-management of their own time and their own commitment as well to projects and to things, and helping them to develop themselves into, strong adults. So yeah, that's kind of where we are at the moment with the boys. And like I said, it's hard work. There's a lot of kind of planning that's involved with it, and money has to be invested into their education. Nothing's free. Education in general isn't as free as we think it is in this country, but certainly if you're doing it on your own, you've got a lot more to consider. The exams alone cost around about £150 each. So there's things like that we have to pay out that other parents don't. And it would be easier to stick them in a school uniform and send them off on a bus every morning to school. But you've got to think about what's best for your child and the situation that your child's in. I'm so lucky because none of our families have kind of given us any jip about this, and there are families out there who do. I've known many families who, you know, they threaten them with social services if they won't put the child back into school. And we've been so lucky because our family has just been really, really supportive of it, and they've offered to kind of help wherever they can. So yeah, that's us for now, and we'll see how things go. You know, I don't ever kind of think this is forever. If the boys at one point kind of decide that's it, they're ready to go to school, then that's fine. Charlie is wanting to do something a little bit more with groups of people, so that's what we're looking at at the moment. He doesn't really want to go back into the school setting, but he does want to do some education with other people, so that's what I'm working on in getting that sorted for him. But yeah, we feel good. We made a right choice. So thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, please, you know, ask away. If I don't know the answers, I can find the answers out, because I've got such a great network of home educating parents as well, that I know that I can certainly ask around.